The rise in home prices is not slowing down. According to Minneapolis area Realtors, the month of May saw the median price of sales rise above $342,000, a record high in the Twin Cities. We're also seeing record prices here in the northwest suburbs. In Robbinsdale, the median sales price rose to $290,000 last month, a nearly 10% increase over last year. In Brooklyn Park, the median price rose to nearly $325,000, an 18% increase. And in Plymouth, the median price is above $400,000. The record prices continue to be fueled by low mortgage rates and buyers outnumbering sellers. In this week's Newsmakers, Shannon Slatton sat down with Chris Galler, CEO of Minnesota Realtors, to provide more perspective and offer some tips for buyers.
It is exhaustive. How's that? A lot of buyers and sellers are just exhausted by the pace that homes are selling. It's much faster than anything we've seen in the 30 years I've been in the business.
What are some of the reasons why?
Oh, the reasons why are the pandemic pushed a lot of people to say we want bigger homes that have offices in the homes. Baby boomers that were ready to downsize went to go look at what the smaller house was going to cost, found out it was more than the big house that they're in. They decided to just stay pat. And then interest rates. Interest rates are really low. Historically, they're low. And that's motivated a lot of young buyers to go out and buy. And they've taken advantage of the pandemic dollars and said, wow, we've saved a bunch over the last year. We've got a great down payment. Let's get into the market pace while the rates are low.
All right. And what are some of the advice, some of the pieces of advice you have for those buyers? Because it can be tough.
Buyers, it's actually the same thing that they needed early, which is make sure your finances are in line. You want as low a debt as possible. Get pre-qualified, and I mean pre-qualified where they pull a credit report and everything, so you know 100% what you can afford, because that's going to be important, because you're going to be looking at a lot of houses. Especially if you're a median priced family, you're probably looking up to $350 at the top, $250 maybe at the bottom. In that $100,000 range, the activity is insane. So don't be surprised if you're not making multiple offers multiple times at prices over what the list is. Right now, homes are selling for 103% in the Twin Cities area compared to what they're listed for, which is unheard of.
Unheard of. All right. Now, what if you are selling? Is it a good time for you, or can you just put your home out there?
Yeah, that's the funny thing. So home sellers look at it and say, wow, it's a great marketplace. We got to get out in the marketplace. What they don't understand is sellers are generally also buyers. And if they're looking to purchase something, they're going to be going through that same competition, just at a different price range. And so they need to get set and say, yeah, we're willing to sell. Understand, it may only take a week, it may only take 10 days, and you may have multiple offers, which in itself is a nightmare for the realtor to try and help you through and negotiate and navigate that process. And then you're going to have to find a house. And so maybe you want to work with your realtor ahead of time, look at what's available in the marketplace, figure out where you want to go, and then know that you'll be able to sell your house.
It's about timing and a little strategy there.
It's timing, strategy, and patience, which patience gets to be the challenging one.
The past year has been a challenging one for bars and restaurants. But 1 year after opening, a brewery in Champlin is now planning an expansion. Elm Creek Brewing is Champlin's first craft brewery and tap room. It's celebrating its 1 year anniversary this weekend. Maple Grove resident Wade Carlson owns the brewery with his son. They say their expansion will allow them to substantially increase brewing capacity to handle canning and keg sales for restaurants.
This wall behind me is going to become part of our expansion. And this will be a glass garage door that will enter into an expansion off the east side of our building.
Elm Creek Brewing says people should look out for a festival in late August that will bring a number of Northwest Metro breweries together to celebrate how the area has become a beer destination. Many high school athletes have dreams of playing under the Friday night lights, but since 2018, the students at Brooklyn Center High School haven't had that chance after Xcel Energy deemed the stadium's current lights unsafe. But now an NFL superstar is working to change that. The stadium at Brooklyn Center High School is home to multiple sports teams. But for the past 3 years, it's lacked one key amenity, a functional lighting system.
We've been playing day games for football, soccer, anything that happens out here has to be worked around when we have daylight.
In 2018, the lights shut off during a Centaurs football game. When the athletic director called Xcel Energy to have them fix the problem, he got bad news.
They looked and they said, this is not a safe system to use anymore, and we can't allow you to use it.
So for 3 years, these Silver Sentinels have stood high above the football field, disconnected from a power source.
And so since then, we've been working with how do we bring lights back?
It's a goal that's not easy for a small school district to accomplish on its own. Only now, they have some help, thanks to Minnesota Vikings star receiver Adam Thielen.
When Adam and Kate learned that the lights were red tagged and there were no Friday night lights, it really spoke to them, and they said, we're going to take care of that.
Amy Sinclair is executive director of the Thielen Foundation. The organization recently launched a campaign to raise $275,000 to help bring the stadium lights back to Brooklyn Center High School. It's an amenity that would put Brooklyn Center on par with the larger schools.
So we feel like if they're successful on the field and feel good about themselves, that's going to spill over into the classroom and also into a future career. So we really like to support them in that way.
Stadium lights may not directly impact wins and losses, but a little support can go a long way to helping Brooklyn Center's student athletes reach their full potential.
It's a feeling that these kids deserve to have.
Officials from the Thielen Foundation hope to have an official dedication ceremony in the fall under the new stadium lights when they make their long-awaited debut. In Brooklyn Center, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.